Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of my lockdown video series. Hope everyone's staying well and staying at home, apart from going out to do the necessary things. I suppose I should reflect on how I'm staying well. I'm trying not to get too into the news, as I said the other day, but obviously there is a certain individual who creeps into my mind often, and I wish he didn't, and I try and block him out, but
Make America great again.
he's there, even when I close my eyes. So I guess it was Friday morning when I first saw on Twitter that Toilet Duck and Dettol were trending. And I thought, that's quite curious. Why would those chemicals be trending on Twitter? And then I saw from a few reactions of people that it seemed Trump had suggested injecting disinfectant. I thought, no. Even he would not suggest something that absurd. Surely not. And lo and behold, he had. And I shouldn't be surprised anymore. This is a guy who suggested nuking a hurricane. I mean, where do you even start with that? It just boggles the mind, And then this is the thing, there are people around him who have to humour him. Experts, scientists, top people in the military. When he has these ideas, they have to come along. Well, it's a good idea, Donald, but I don't think we'll go with that. It's wow. Maybe and that's what they have to do. They just say, well, Mr. President, good idea, but possibly impractical. Not sure how it would work.
Well, I just thought, it's like power of a hurricane, power of a bomb. Put them together. It's beautiful. It's an idea. I have ideas.
I mean, I apologise for my Trump impression, by the way. I can do some impressions, but Trump is not one of them. Yeah, it's staggering. I mean, there was a story a few years ago about how he visited a US Air Force base, and after conversations with US Air Force pilots, it became clear when he was recalling this encounter with someone further down the line, that when they explained to him about stealth planes being invisible to the enemy, he thought that meant invisible to the naked eye. Obviously, I don't have to explain to anybody watching this, I hope, that stealth planes are invisible to radar. They are not like a bloody Romulan cloaking device. You sit in them, you throw a switch and it disappears. I mean, but that's what he thought. That's what he understood stealth to be. I mean, they could just do they could wind him up, they could bring him into the aircraft hangar and say, Mr. President, we got the whole fleet here of stealth planes,
Oh, that's great. They're all here. Oh, see, I can't see them because they're stealth, but, well, that's beautiful.
Where'd you go with this guy? See, I mean, ay. And then there was his plans on the border wall. He sat in meetings and he said, I want an electrified fence with a moat with crocodiles in the moat. And this is a serious meeting about border security and immigration he's having. And he's got this Wile E. Coyote version of what the wall should be like,
So, why don't we put some tacos on a catapult, and then they'll get the food, and then they'll be fired back over the border.
Again, Mr. President, a great idea, but I'm not sure in practical terms how that will work. Oh, dear. I mean, it's comedy gold in some way, but this is costing people's lives now. I mean, American lives and world leadership from the US. Unfortunately, the US, we do need them to lead in certain areas, and instead they've got this complete buffoon in charge, and you're just amazed. His staff, they must be sat just on edge, just like, oh God, what's he going to say next? What are we going to have to try and justify next? Oy. Oh dear. But as you can see, I'm not getting too into it and looking too much on the news. I'm staying very calm all the time. Oh, I wish I was, but I can't help it. I was raised in a family where Radio 4 was on all the time, at home growing up. It was like a sort of a middle-class version of Jonestown, No, it wasn't that bad. But, I suppose I've just always been interested in it. And this guy, I just don't know what to do. What does the world do with someone like that? Hey.